time has come. The science has won. It's time to get to Vietnam. The Vietnam government has finally removed pretty much all the restrictions to enter Vietnam. Starting May 15, 2022, the Vietnamese government got rid of the final restrictions that were required to enter Vietnam due to the pandemic. So getting that 72-hour PRC test before you come here to Vietnam, you no longer need these. A bit of a warning though, check where your layovers are and find out their requirements to pass through their airports. We are talking about Vietnam removing the requirements, but this doesn't mean that these other countries have yet. The $10,000 insurance for the pandemic also has been removed as well. The vaccine passport is no longer required. The only visa being offered as of May 15, 2022 is a 1-month e-visa. And you guys might have seen my older videos. If you haven't, check them out up here or hit that subscribe button so you get updates when new videos come out. I went through the process of renewing the e-visa. The short answer is you can't really do it. Check out the video though if you want to see the proofs and the process of how I went about it and why it just won't happen. What are your options past 30 days? Great news is Cambodia only requires you to have a vaccine card. All you need to do is an e-visa online through the Cambodian website, get your e-visa, and you can easily go to Moc Bai, which is a border that a lot of people go through to do visa runs that are in Saigon area. Go down there with your e-visa for Cambodia, but also make sure you get your e-visa for Vietnam. VOAs are very challenging to do, and that border, as of right now, does not do VOAs. Doing that border run has got a lot better since both governments have went to strictly e-visas only. A lot of you that have done that border run before, you might remember the whole cheating, getting scammed, fake employees working at the immigration office trying to snag you for $500,000 to do something stupid. A lot of that has been eliminated now. And the reason for that is pretty much everything is e-visa. You, again, can do a VOA. I strongly recommend just doing the e-visa online. With Cambodia, Vietnam, even Thailand, you do it online, you get all the required documents done right there, and you also pay online, and then you get a visa sent to you by email. You just bring that paper with you to the border, they stamp you're in. It is the smoothest thing. I wish Vietnam did this whole process like 7 or 8 years ago. You also don't have to do the declaration form anymore. If you are doing the Cambodia Vietnam visa run, the Cambodian e-visa is for 30 days, you $36 online, and you'll just upload your vaccine card. When you do cross the border, they ask me for it. I don't know if that's a thing anymore. In regards to insurance getting to Cambodia, you don't need it. Pretty much just walk right in there, filled out the declaration card, showed them my passport, my vaccine card, and I was in and out. It was pretty straightforward. After you finish the Cambodia part, just pretty much go through the border, come back around, go back in Vietnam, stand in some lines, show them your e-visa, get a stamp, and you're in and out like that. The people I talked to that were doing the border run were telling me they spent about 25 minutes for the entire process. Definitely do the e-visa online. You pay the $25 online, and they email you your e-visa. You don't have to deal with anybody. Now, your options to get to the border, if you're gonna do this way, there are a couple. I did find a cheap one. We'll get to that in a minute, but the basic one is just getting a bus. If you go to Bui Vinh, they're pretty much the cheapest ways to go. They'll just be buses. They are a little more expensive because there's not a lot of tourists out there right now, so they're charging a little more for the seats. How did I get there? I ended up just taking a grab bike. If you do this, you might get a few people showing up and then leaving you. It is far. The guy that came, we got on the bike, he looked at his GPS, and he started driving. After 5 minutes, he stopped. He looked at me, he's like, "Are you serious? Cambodia?" And he looked at it again. He got off his bike, he called somebody, and he got back on. He's like, "Let's go." You are sitting on a bike for like an hour, but if you want to save some money, there's a way to go. And if you don't want to go through Cambodia, you can go through Laos. And if you ran through the Laos border to do any type of visa run, or leave a comment below under that like button. Did you need anything? The third option is if you want to fly or just take a sleeper bus for a long time. Thailand has removed pretty much all the restrictions except the insurance. There's also no more sandbox programs. So you're not forced to go to Phuket or Bangkok and pay for 2 separate PCR tests. You just go there. You do need to have your vaccine. You do need to have 10,000 insurance. And if you're an American, you can get there with no visa at all. If you weren't allowed to go to Vietnam last month because the government wasn't allowing your country, they haven't changed that. Now the big question. The old rules still apply. If you're married or if you have a job, you can still get a TRC and stay here long term. You could also, like I did, be an investor, open up your own company. That is an option. And if you're a lawyer, the lawyer visa is still an applicable thing. So you do have those options if you're trying to stay past the 30-day tourist mark. It really seems like Vietnam's trying to get rid of the long-term people that are just staying there kind of living quiet or not providing a service. Will we get a 3-month visa? It sounds like Vietnam's really trying to go towards the tourist only situation. You can do visa runs every 30 days. I'm gonna be honest, and I've heard a lot of people tell me like, oh, you know, it's no big deal, it's part of the thing, I'm retired out here. As we know, you can't retire out in Vietnam because you wouldn't be doing border runs if you were. It does get to you, and this is just, again, my personal opinion. After 3 or 4 border runs, it gets to you, especially if you're in Saigon. You're spending an entire day running around, going through all this hassle, dealing with the big city, dealing with the buses, dealing with the stress. And this isn't even mentioning if you live in like Phu Mai or Lagi, or if you're in Phan Thiet or if you're Vung Tau, where you have to actually take a bus to the major city to go to one of these borders. So now you're talking like a day worth of time just to renew your visa. After 3 or 4 times, it really does burn on you. And financially, it kind of loses its value when you have to keep going through this in regards to how much money and time you're spending to do this every 28 or 30 days. Vietnam really seems like it's trying to get rid of the tourist things. Ever since the whole fake business visa thing where the new president caught the government employees and the agents cheating the system to get Western people in longer under fake visas, it seems like the government's really trying to push all that out. You always have the option, you can get a job. There's a lot of TEFL programs. There's a couple big ones in Saigon that will help you out. And if you're in Vung Tau, there's some engineering jobs. There's companies like PV Oil that you can work for to get a job. Either way, I think that does it for today, my friends. I hope this update gave you some insight on what's going on in Vietnam, Thailand, Cambodia, and Laos. I almost forgot. Stay tuned. New Da Nang videos and Hoi An videos are coming in the next week or so. Make sure you hit that subscribe button so you're getting notifications when those videos are coming out. Hopefully I see you guys there. But till then, I will see you again.